Hey, what up, dudes? Insane Isaiah 64 here. Welcome back to more Honkai Star Rail. Last time we were just finishing up the story of the events, and now this time I already have it marked on the map already. But we're gonna be doing Yunli's companion mission. It's right after the story, which we go to Fatal Ass right here real quick. Go back. See, it's right here. That's what we're gonna be doing. I want to do this before doing March's training events, because that is going to be a little bit more longer than this, I think. But I'm going to do this first before then. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Hope you guys are doing well. Right back in this garden. This back area that is never used for anything. I think I found all the chests in this place. Oh, lore. March 7 sword training notes. Cool.
Ever since March started learning swordplay from Yenqing and Yunli, her voice has been absent on the Express.
So, I might accidentally trigger the event too, and that happens. It's not a big deal. I'll show it anyways. But, because right after this, I'll be uploading that as well.
I wonder how well she's progressing. Where has she been these days?
Yunli. March 7, she didn't turn up for practice. I need to message her. She's not replying to my messages. Oh, bummer. If I can't find March 7th, the only way to seek out is her legal guardian, which is you. Not used to talking to our guardians. Never kid up or seeking out grown-ups when we do anything either. When's March 7 ever listen to me? Indeed, Grandpa usually throws out all the complainers. I was already an instructor in the ways of the sword. You can't skip this class, but I can't skip my duty. When you talk about your child's behavior. How about this? You can find me in Iron Alley. I'll wait for you there. Yeah, sure. I figured I was going to get triggered first anyways before the events. The event's right in the same area too, but I want to do this. I want to learn more about Yunli. I heard this is mostly about her, so it's like, and let's see. I did recently max her out too, so I'm like, really wanting to do this. Hey.
There you are. I was looking around before you got here. I already looked everywhere, but March 7th is nowhere to be found.
Maybe March 7th is actually...
Forget it. Let's just assume she successfully skipped class.
Damn.
Actually, she's been quite diligent in her swordplay practice and hasn't taken many breaks lately. I think she deserves a day off. Besides, I used to skip classes even more than her back when I was still learning. If I was in the mood, I could train for 3 days straight. But if I wasn't in the mood, none of my seniors could find me. So, I can understand where she's coming from.
That she learned from her master.
Don't make excuses for her. Since you're here, let me treat you to some tasty food. I'm more interested in you today.
Why me?
Let's walk and talk.
Like run and talk, jeez.
There's tasty food in Aru Valley.
You
Let's
just
go
took
there.
off. I mean, I appreciate it. She's not gonna walk super slow.
A table for two, please.
All right, come on in. What would you like?
Well, we'll have one of everything on the menu.
The entire menu?
Do you think it'll be enough?
She's worried we won't be able to finish it all.
Oh, don't worry. There are two of us.
Yunli does eat a lot.
Well, then I'll start making a few dishes, and if you need more, just let me know.
Thank you.
Reminds me of like Goku. Eats a lot all the time. You usually eat a lot?
Yeah. I mean, not too much, actually. Grandpa said to never be stingy when it comes to making friends. So, how big is your appetite?
It can be a bottomless pit.
Ah, then eat to your heart's content.
Are you sure I don't need to look for March?
No, I've thought about it. She deserves a day off.
Alright. Why are you interested in me
To be
again?
more precise, I'm interested in your sword. Yanqing mentioned you before. He said that you're not to be underestimated. And
I
that
have
your
a sword, I have a
weapon is
hat, a
in good
bat,
shape.
and a spear.
So, I've always been curious about your sword. How the weight is distributed, what material it's made of, whether it contains any special ingenia, and what kind of sword techniques you use.
That sword's a baseball bat.
Seriously? A bat?
It's a bat, a hat, and a spear. Are you still curious?
Yeah, now more than ever.
Place your beloved bath knows your trusted companion, perhaps second only like to March 7 at Donghan, well Timiko and Pom Pom
So,
before Yunli
it really
gazes.
is a baseball bat. Grandpa said that a sword doesn't have to be constrained by its shape, so, in a sense, your bat is a sword too. He also said that a weapon mimics its master, so your bat actually reflects your habits and nature, you know?
Makes sense.
Let me guess. You're someone who doesn't follow the rules, enjoys improvising.
They are meant to be
yourself
broken.
well against tough foes. Am I right?
Well, you're mistaken. I always follow the rules. Bullshit. I don't. They've always been secretly filming me.
Amazing, right? And I bet you always say something silly like, rules are made to be broken. I've come across so many sword wielders who
Been a while
act
since
all
I heard that
righteous
line.
and moral, but were really just liars. Their swords always told the truth, though. They told me that their wielders were just a bunch of frauds who relied on their divine weapons for everything. I've hunted down hundreds of swords like this so far, and every single one of them has been melted down.
Take people's swords by force and melt them?
Yes, but only for those who cross the line. Melting their swords is my way of protecting those weapons. But
Interesting.
just looking at a sword is not enough. Grandpa always says, words and expressions can be deceiving, but in a fight to the death, a sword's movements never lie. The war dance is just around the corner. You'll be participating, right?
Miss Yunli, for talented sword masters like you, the war dance is a perfect opportunity to show off your skills and make a name for yourself. But for people like him, who have already made significant contributions to the Xianzhou, they maybe don't need to prove themselves on the war dance stage. It has been a while, Mr. Nameless.
And you are?
Recon secretary?
Thank you for your introduction, Mr. Nameless. I'm Shi Kuei, and I work in the Palace of Astrum as the secretary for the Helmmaster. I apologize for interrupting your conversation. I happened to hear you discussing the war dance. And since this person is an old acquaintance, I thought I'd come and say hello.
Hosting guest by Miss... I can't say the name.
Yes, with the war dance approaching, many guests from afar are pouring in. Mr. Pavo here is one of them. He's from the distant planet Kalevala. Mr. Pavo's planet recently joined the Pan-Cosmic Trade System.
Kalevala?
He brought his delegation here this time, not only for business, but also to return something that belongs to the Xianzhou.
Miss Shikwe, the word gift is perhaps more fitting than return. While it did once belong to the Xianzhou, we faced many tribulations to be able to deliver it here, so it should be considered a gift.
I apologize for my poor choice of words. Mr. Pavo's delegation brought a legendary Xianzhou sword that had been lost for centuries. General Huayan plans to personally thank them at the Palace of Astrum and present the sword as a prize to the champion of the war dance. Mr. Pavo and I were actually on our way there. Since you two were talking so enthusiastically about the war dance, maybe you'd be interested in joining us at the Palace of Astrum?
What do you have to say? Avo.
Nice to meet you both. The journey to the Xianzhou Luofu wasn't an easy one, but the scenery here is worth it. It's completely different from my homeland. Once the formalities at the Palace of Astrum are finished, I'll find a quiet spot on this street and plant a seedling. And then my mission will be complete. The Sword of Heroes will finally be returned to its rightful owners. I couldn't be happier.
Talk about Caliphate?
Oh, you're interested in my home planet?
Yeah,
Great.
never heard of it till now.
Excellency is welcome to visit us at any time. Even though the trade route just opened, it still might take around 200 system hours to get there from Pier Point. But our planet is really great. Yeah, sure, it's a bit cold and the food is a bit repetitive and houses aren't as fancy as those on Pier Point, but that doesn't matter. We've discovered massive supernium deposits, and we're on the path to prosperity.
Interesting home planet. What about your sword?
Oh, you mean
The
the
sword.
Mieka Kivesa? It's an incredible sword. That weapon helped the legendary heroes of my homeland slay demons.
You got demons in your homeland?
It also has the power to choose monarchs. All the ancient kings of
Interesting.
Kalevala received a sign from the sword, showing they were worthy to rule the land. According to tradition, each monarch would plunge the sword into a stone, and only a hero recognized by the sword could pull it out and ascend to the throne next.
Sword of the stone? I saw that biometric technology.
Oh, those are just legends from the past. No one today has witnessed it firsthand.
Did you keep the sword to yourself?
Well, times have changed, and now that we have a council in place, the idea of a sword crowning a king has become a joke. Besides, it wasn't a native of Kalevala who last pulled out the sword and recognized its connection to the Xianzhou ship. It was a visitor from afar. While the sword holds great historical significance for Kalevala, it doesn't truly belong to our world. The old-timers on council had a heated debate about whether to return the sword. They eventually unanimously agreed to let the Mieka Kivesa return to where it truly belongs. That's the best possible outcome.
I'm gonna witness its
Wonderful.
return.
It's an honor to have so many people witness the sword's homecoming.
Yunli.
Let's head to the Palace of Astrum together.
Take a look at that sword too.
Right? Thanks to March 7th skipping class, we get to join in on the fun. Grandpa always asks me to go look at swords with him, but he hasn't said anything about this one. It's really weird. But now that we're invited, let's go and check it out.
Turns out it's a cursed sword. That's probably where this is gonna go.
Really?
Yeah, that deity's still there.
There you are. Come on, let's go to the ceremony together.
You get here before me. It's just... I had a warp, like... So yeah, she is as like tall as Fushuin, I believe. She's tiny. Oh, hey, you're Genti.
Please allow me to offer a sincere compliment.
How are you
to
doing
my
here?
lady. Your beauty is as pure as a snow-white iris. Well, if it isn't my dear friend, glad to meet you again.
Who is this weirdo?
The Knights of Beauty.
Who is this knight?
I am Argenti, a member of the Knights of Beauty. I was invited as a part of the Kalevala delegation to escort the legendary Mieka Kivesa back to the Xianzhou. May I have the honor of knowing your name?
My name is Yunli.
What a beautiful name. I wonder if you have ever heard the holy name of the pure and flawless goddess Adrilla.
Oh, you're here, Yunli. Didn't expect you to be so well informed. Well, now that you're here, don't forget your manners.
Manners, manners. Come on. You won't find another granddaughter as polite and well-behaved as me.
Well, just remember this is a very serious ceremony. Sorry for keeping you waiting, Mr. Pavo. Now, let the sword gifting ceremony begin.
Before the ceremony officially commences, I want to express my gratitude to the Knight Argenti. Thank you for enlightening us about the sword's origin and for escorting it here safely so that we may complete this ceremony. On behalf of the Kalevalan delegation, I, Pavel Kalistaya, am here to return the legendary Mieka Kifesa to the Xianzhou Alliance, its rightful homeland.
I'm truly grateful for Kalevala's noble act of returning the sword and for the Knight of Beauty's chivalry. Now, as we gather here on the Xianzhou Laofu, I officially welcome the sword back to its homeland. Mieka Kifesa. It's a fitting name for a sword with such a legendary past. I still remember the name engraved on this sword the day it was forged. Guyin. It was forged by Han Guang, a craftsman from the Zhu Ming's Pyrojaya Forge.
Wait. Hongguang?
Although its blade is worn and cracked, its essence remains as resilient as the Xianzhou Cloud Knights. All it needs is some repairs and polishing by the skilled craftsmen of the Artisanship Commission to regain its former glory. I've decided to entrust this sword, Guyin, to the Laofu Artisanship Commission for restoration. Furthermore, it will serve as the prize for the champion of the Laofu War Dance. This sword will be wielded against abominations to protect our homeland and live up to the mission of the Kalevalan delegation that returned it from so far away.
Thank you, General. It is an honor for Kalevala.
Now, esteemed Knight and delegation members, please head to the Artisanship Commission, where...
No! This sword was forged by Hongguang.
Yunli! These esteemed guests have brought back your father's last work. Where are your manners?
Oh, I didn't realize this sword was actually forged by your father. Returning it to its rightful owner is,
Grandpa, give me that cursed sword right now. I'll melt away the remnants of that man's curse once and for all.
Sword?
Don't be rude, Yunli. Apologize to our esteemed guests from afar.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for making a scene. But I have to melt down this cursed sword. I won't let it fall into anyone else's hands.
Yunli, please, go for now. This is exactly why I didn't want Yunli to know about this. I didn't want to create trouble, but trouble found its way here anyway. Perhaps it really is divine intervention. Could you, please, keep an eye on Yunli for me?
Good thing, I'll make sure she doesn't get in any trouble.
That is a tall order, but I'm counting on you. I apologize for the unfortunate interruption. let us move on with the ceremony.
It's her father's work. That's interesting. I actually would like to see her family tree.
Yunli should be around here.
Because apparently... Remember Blade, Stellaron Hunter? Apparently this is his niece. And I didn't know about it until like a trailer came out. And people were saying that. Oh, this is Blade's niece. I'm like, this is Blade's niece? I'd like to see the family tree. What's up?
Grandpa sent you to look for me? I bet he did.
Shit, I'm here because I care about you.
Thank you. Just so you know, I'm here just waiting for the perfect moment to snatch that sword. And once I have it, I'll melt it down before anyone can react. Don't even think about stopping me. No one can stop me.
We can help you if you don't explain what's going on.
Grandpa sent you here. Surely he doesn't want you to help me. Have you heard of cursed swords? That sword is one.
Like a sacred sword been corrupted?
You've clearly heard a lot of folk tales. But that's not the kind of cursed sword I'm talking about. A cursed sword lets anyone, even a complete novice, wield it with insane skill. Just by holding the hilt, even the weakest rookie can brandish it with incredible speed and strength.
Was something like that, March 7th could just graduate in one day.
I'm not joking around. And I'm not making up some crazy story. While a cursed sword grants instant abilities to its wielder, it comes at a cost. It's like continuously adding fuel to the forge. With each swing, the sword drains the wielder's blood and essence. Day by day, the fuel will run out, leaving nothing but an empty husk. Soon enough, it will no longer be a person wielding a sword, but a mindless, killing machine, consumed by bloodlust and murderous thoughts.
Sounds oddly familiar.
I wonder if you've ever heard of a creature called a heliobus.
Yeah, the
It
ghosts.
to feed on human emotions and memories, and excels at manipulating its hosts. There was a lunatic swordsmith who infused metal blades with heliobi, as he was obsessed with turning weapons into living things. And this is how cursed swords were made.
Guan's one of those cursed swords.
I know, I shouldn't have caused a scene at the sword gifting ceremony. But I've thought this through. If I don't make a fuss now, that cursed sword will cause a whole lot more trouble. So it's better if it's me causing the trouble. By the way, aren't they supposed to be taking the sword to the Artisanship Commission for repairs? Why haven't they come out yet? Any ideas?
Because there are other ways out of the Palace of Astrum.
Looks like they're not going to show up here. I'll just head straight to the Artisanship Commission. It doesn't matter why Grandpa chose that sword. I won't let it fall into anyone else's hands.
I get you.
I'll track down every single sword he forged and melt them down one after another. Just like I've been doing all these years. I have to go now.
The Artisanship Commission is so big. Where could she be?
We can talk to these doofuses over here.
Just a while ago, a girl came up to me, all fierce and demanding directions. She said she's a member of the Artisanship Commission. Do you know her?
No idea who she is. If she really works here, how can she not know her way around?
She's from Xianzhou's Zooming Artisanship Commission.
See, that explains it then.
Explains what? It explains nothing.
Surprised I
at
remembered
all.
Zooming. I was about to say Zelman.
She said
Like
something
an idiot.
like, I'm a member of the Artisanship Commission. Where do you keep your precious stuff? Got scared and pointed her toward Master Gongshu's warehouse, where he stores his arumatons.
Wait, why did you give her directions? What if she's planning to steal something?
Cuts the stage. Where'd she go?
Like I said, she was headed straight for the warehouse, where all the valuable arumatons are.
Yeah, that place is filled with Master Gongshu's precious arumatons. I bet they'll give her a hard time.
Looks like we got fighting on our hands. Over there? Just warp over there. If I go around, I can just cut this in half. I forgot I switched to my hat. Until I did that.
Please
Oh yeah.
stay tuned.
What are you doing here? Look, if I get into trouble, it's my problem. I don't want to drag you into it.
But you got 2 arumatons here. This is really the time to talk about that.
Fine. Let's smash these metal cans first. Then we can talk.
Dang.
Great. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. I'm gonna hold everyone back again.
I think I have CeeLo with me.
Let's improvise. The mood is set. Let the show begin.
Yes, you.
Prison my Foxian. How dare you?
Strike. Don't mess with me. Melt. See through clouds. Yes, you. I'm here.
Strike!
Thank you for your help.
Fiend or devil! I'll crush them all!
It's gonna be tough.
Stand to earth.
But we'll break through.
What a headache. I'll free you. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Didn't give my CeeLo more crit damage.
That was the last of them. Thank you for helping me out. This place is heavily guarded, but there's nothing but arumatons. Where is the arsenal? Seems like not even those craftsmen know where the arsenal is. At this rate, we won't find anything. And Grandpa might take me away before I can do anything. You're not really here to help me. You're here to stop me, right?
Those cursed stars isn't just your problem.
It's not. Grandpa made a promise to the delegation, and going back on his word would tarnish his reputation and make things difficult for the Luofu. But leaving that cursed sword here will also make things difficult for the Luofu. So all things considered, the best outcome is for me to melt that sword down and take all the blame. You probably think I'm being impulsive and unreasonable, right?
I just feel like you're too obsessed with this cursed sword.
Really? Do I come across that way? Well, I guess I can't deny it.
Chance to explain yourself?
Seems like you've met a lot of people who don't tell you the whole story.
Just tell me everything, man.
I owe you an explanation. But this isn't the best place to talk. We need to find somewhere else. Let me be clear, though. I'm still pretty riled up. This is just a temporary break. I already told you about Guyun. The sword that was returned during the ceremony. It's a cursed sword, with a heliobus inside. And Hongguang, the swordsmith who forged it, is my father. I rarely mention his name to anyone other than Grandpa. Maybe, like you said, I've been avoiding having to talk about him. But as long as my mission to hunt down cursed swords continues, it's impossible to avoid the topic forever. For some reason, I feel like I can open up to you. Honestly, I don't remember much about him. All I know is that the Pyrogyre Forge used to be a bustling place, with people from all over coming to get one of his swords. They called him the greatest master craftsman since Yingxing. I didn't catch all the details, but I do remember seeing him forge those amazing swords, while the visitors watched with smiles on their faces. I used to believe that craftsmen brought happiness to others. The swords crafted by the Pyrogyre Forge are famed across the stars. They possess exceptional sharpness and invincibility. With these legendary weapons, even ordinary people can become skilled warriors, capable of overcoming the most formidable opponents. But then, he became obsessed with becoming a famed swordsmith, and started crossing all sorts of lines. He forged cursed swords that should never exist. And all those people who desired those twisted swords started flooding into the palace. However, just like Grandpa said, those who excel with the sword will eventually suffer by it. The palace is overrun with visitors from afar. Some left empty-handed. Others got swords that didn't fulfill their desires. And some even resorted to stealing. And in the midst of all the chaos my father created, he ended up being stabbed by one of the swords he forged. It was so sudden and unexpected. Everything went silent for a moment. All I could hear was the sound of bones breaking and blood pouring out. I was frozen in place, unable to move. It was only when my mother pushed me away from the deadly swing of the cursed sword that I managed to escape. I don't remember much after that, except for the pounding of my heart and the sound of my own gasps of breath. I could hear the smiths in the Pyrogyre Forge shouting, "Run away, Yunli!" And the screams of agony. My tears wouldn't stop, and I couldn't see anything. I kept gasping for air until I collapsed in a pool of blood. If General Huayan hadn't arrived in time, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you now. After that, General Huayan took me in and treated me like his own granddaughter. To me, he is 100 times better than my sinful father. He taught me forging and swordsmanship. Hangguang paid for his sins, but his troubled legacy must not go unchecked. According to the records, he forged a total of 1,382 Heliobus cursed swords, and 182 of them had unique designs. When I joined the Pyrogyre Forge for training, I made a vow to hunt down all those cursed swords. So far, I found 312 of them, and Guyan will be my 313th. Like all the other cursed swords, I'll separate it from the Heliobus. Then, I'll melt it down and make it part of the Blade of Forged Remnants. I've said my piece now. Even though it'll be tough for Grandpa, I still have to melt down the sword.
I think you should talk to General Huiyan about it.
So, you're saying, even though Grandpa knew it was a cursed sword, he still chose it to be a prize because he thought it wouldn't cause any trouble? No. No matter how I think about it, something is definitely off. Grandpa didn't tell me anything about the ceremony. He must be hiding something. Besides, after our argument today, you want me to go back and talk to him now? No way. At least not today. Maybe tomorrow. Somehow, after talking to you, I feel like I've cooled off a bit. Well, I'll have an honest conversation with Grandpa tomorrow. And I won't take any action against Guyan until he gives me his reasons.
Because apologize.
Yeah. I shouldn't have done that in a public place. Anyway, thank you. We'll catch up tomorrow.
You want a hug?
I should go back to the Palace of Astrum
What?
and tell General Huaiyan what happened at the Artisanship Commission.
Feel bad for her backstory. Holy crap. That all makes sense.
My granddaughter didn't cause any trouble, did she, young man?
Well, explain this.
Sorry for all this trouble. Yunli told you quite a bit. Now it's time for this old man to tell my side of the story. Hangguang was my beloved disciple. A rare genius not seen in the Pyrogyre Forge since Yingxing. However, talent can sometimes be a curse. He had an unusual fervor for forging, and he dreamed of forging a sword with self-awareness that surpassed that of humans. He believed it would make warriors invincible without any training. According to him, while weapons of mass destruction like Juming flames and alchemical arrows can destroy many enemies, true victory lies with soldiers who fearlessly fight, ready to lay their lives on the line. Usually, Xianzhou swordsmiths infuse a basic level of awareness into their swords to make them easier to wield. But even then, soldiers need to experience countless battles to overcome fear and sharpen their instincts. So,
What about using the Heliobi to absorb emotions?
by infusing Heliobi into swords, he managed to forge weapons that could grant their wielders strength and valor, and even make decisions for them. However, weapons are different from regular tools. They are meant to kill, plain and simple. After countless battles, all the anger, fear, and bloodlust are soaked up by the Heliobi within the swords. The soldiers wielding them not only gain strength, but they also become consumed by the malice, turning them into puppets possessed by the swords. No matter how noble Hongguang's intentions were, those weapons, soaked in blood, turned into cursed swords eventually. Later, Outworlders got wind of what he was doing and encouraged him to keep forging cursed swords. They came up with all sorts of reasons, from taking back their kingdoms to slaying demons. And you know what happened next. That massacre took her parents' lives, and the lives of many craftsmen in the Pyrogyre Forge. Yunli managed to survive, but she couldn't escape the horrors of that day.
Sword really have Katana Heliobi?
Yunli is indeed one of the cursed swords forged by Hongguang. Very few swordsmiths could use Heliobi as forging material, and Hongguang was one of them. His attempt came at a terrible cost.
That's why you didn't want her to see that sword.
I don't want her to spend her whole life trapped under her father's shadow. She doesn't deserve to carry the weight of his mistakes. Despite her vow to hunt down and wipe out all cursed swords, fulfilling that vow requires immense effort. Traversing the starry seas in search of the swords is like finding a needle in a haystack. And to reclaim those swords, she has to duel the bloodthirsty wielders, teetering on the edge of life and death. She has taken back over 300 cursed swords, and has suffered the same number of fatal wounds. I took her in to give her a chance at a normal childhood, not to send her on a sword-hunting journey. Even if she manages to melt down all the cursed swords one day, what will she do with her life after?
Good point. Only plans to talk to you
I
tomorrow.
thought this sword could be an opportunity. I wanted to tell her that her father wasn't all evil, that even the man she resents so much managed to forge a true sword of heroes. I also wanted to find a chance to tell her about the history and origin of this sword, but not during the ceremony. As you saw, it wasn't a good time. I've instructed the Artisanship Commission to keep the sword safe in the arsenal. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask the people involved.
Okay. Oh, Master Gongchu? Don't worry, General Hyun's already conferred his instructions. Because I heard my apprentice that the young lady with the sword barked into the Artisanship Commission. And Huan's daughter, right? Did she hear the chat or kidnap me? Calm down. She won't take Guni until confirming the situation. I want to steal the sword? My nerves can't take much more of this. The Night of Beauty was just escorting the sword to the Artisanship Commission. Was currently in an armory without a chance of a compromise or mishap. You just relax. When I have time, I want to hear that girl tell me why she tried to steal the blade.
Since my granddaughter mentioned talking to me tomorrow, I'll be waiting for her. By the way, you watched over her for quite some time. You must be exhausted, aren't you?
Nah, I'm used to it. Relay like her never gets tiring.
I'll be counting on you then.
Time to go back and find that class-skipping March 7th.
Yeah, where the hell is she? Hell is March. So gonna leave first, not warp out of here. Oh, that's why. After you finish all, you return to the Express key in the face-to-face with March 7th. Caught skipping class. Damn it, March. The milk tea and gossiping time slipped away and noticed the next day arrived. Damn, March, we didn't give you 2 swords to be lazy. Or whatever. Able to cooperate for a bit. Character came to the Artisanship mission. What happened to the sword? I didn't even say anything. How'd you know? Correct, the Artists Commission said they received the sword yesterday from Jinho, and today we checked in. The sword has vanished. And the Realm Keeping Commission is officially conducting investigation and interrogation of relevant individuals. I told them to be careful. Do you know about the current situation? Yeah, he reported the case. Anyways, anyone attending yesterday's ceremony to lack clear alibi will be considered a suspect. The craftsmanship also mentioned a young girl broke into the Artisanship Commission with a sword in hand. She bears a bulk of suspicion. Alright, enough chatter. I'll see you at the Artisanship Commission. Yeah, I'll see you in a minute. Seems she successfully stole it? Oh, it's right here.
Alright, everyone is here. It's time for questioning.
Yunli, I'm sure you understand why the official called you here, right?
Yeah? But I didn't steal the sword.
I can vouch for her.
Now is not the time to use your reputation like that. If we don't recover the sword, we will be breaking our promise to the Lawfu and betraying the delegation. We're counting on you to find the truth, Official Daha.
Yes. It's my duty to thoroughly investigate the case. Even though Yunli is firm in her words, we can't just rely on her testimony.
After everything, the sword still got stolen. Ugh, they should have given it to me from the beginning.
Yeah, I
In
agree.
this case of Gu Yun's theft, everyone involved seems suspicious to some extent. Miss Yunli is the main suspect. First, during the sword gifting ceremony, Yunli openly expressed her intention to steal the sword. She even mentioned it multiple times. After the ceremony, she broke into the Artisanship Commission and destroyed Arumatons in an attempt to get the sword. Am I right?
That's true.
The Realm Keeping Commission inspected the arsenal where Gu Yun was stored, and there were no signs of forced entry through the doors or windows. The only possible entrance or exit was a small window gap, just a few inches wide.
The locker room murder mystery. Which we have March 7th here. What? Shit, March 7th here.
March 7th we're here. She'd probably jinx it and accidentally reveal who the thief was.
The box
Oh,
containing
true.
Gu Yun was opened and the sword went missing.
I
None
guess.
of the other swords in the room were touched. Which means...
The suspect knew about the box and the sword.
I do know about the box and the cursed sword.
Exactly. The suspect had a clear motive and took only Gu Yun. So, besides the ceremony participants, only the delegation members had access to the sword.
Could be the craftsman who stole the sword?
Master Gongshu checked the work records, and I questioned all the craftsmen and apprentices who were on shift at the time. But I didn't find any suspicious individuals.
Damn. Could be that someone from the delegation stole the sword?
In that case, why would they return it to the Xianzhou in the first place?
Fair enough. Maybe they regret the decision?
That makes sense. The delegation, led by the Knight of Beauty, delivered the sword to the Artisanship Commission. The craftsmen who received it testified that they didn't take anything from the arsenal.
Could be Argenti stole it?
Genti?
Eh.
Oh, that Knight of Beauty. He was with the delegation when they handed over the sword to the Artisanship Commission.
He is a strange character,
You
though.
might not know, but he's the one who recognized the sword's origin in Kalevala and escorted it back to the Xianzhou. In other words, he's the one who made it possible for the sword to come home. So, he wouldn't have gone through all that trouble to bring it to the Lawfu if he wanted to keep the sword for himself.
Yeah, I stole the sword?
So,
No.
did you steal it?
No. It was not. It was an
Stop
option.
joking
It was an
around.
option.
I can
Dialogue
prove
option.
he came to me after leaving the Artisanship Commission, so he couldn't have stolen the sword.
To put it simply, not everyone who's seen the sword has been to the Artisanship Commission, and not everyone who might want the sword has seen it. So, the only remaining suspect is Miss Yunli.
Fair enough.
So,
I didn't steal the sword.
well, when you've eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
I think we might be missing something
You want to
here.
prove me wrong? You better come up with some solid evidence.
Right.
Let me gather my thoughts. I need to help Yunli clear her name.
Real.
Did we miss any clues?
There's a Rumaton there. Continuing to use the steel the Gudian is indeed a sight to behold, the beauty radiant. Perhaps its very beauty has drawn its unwanted attention. Regardless, as one of the few pieces of physical evidence left at the scene, it might behold traces of the thief. Open sword case? You notice a few smear red along the bottom of the sword case interior. It's hard to ignore, as if it was deliberate declaration of existence of those who are viewing the sword case. Extract the red color from the interior soul case. A few petals teared into the brink of the wording. Oh, did he really steal it? Fucking Argenti? Or should I say a single rose
Why
petal?
is this flower petal inside the case?
Case exterior. Master adorned metal wiring inlays traces a pattern aloft. Lotus flowers subtly proclaiming its origin as illustrious Zanshao Ming. Door case locked. The lock mechanism necessarily within the case remains intact, bearing no marks of the external force or tampering.
So, the thief took the sword from the case without picking the lock.
Seems that way. Close the court case and put it back.
Yunli says she didn't steal the sword, and I am willing to believe her. But I know well that Yunli can be impulsive. So if she did steal the sword on a whim, I won't show her any favors. You were with Yunli yesterday, young man. So you have the chance to prove her innocence. Is there anything you need to ask me?
Did she come to you afterwards?
No, she was still mad at me, so she didn't come by. If she had come with you, she wouldn't be a suspect right now.
How was the sword delivered?
After the ceremony, Argenti carried the sword case, and together with the delegation, they were escorted by the Cloud Knights to the Artisanship Commission. The artisan there confirmed that the sword was safely stored.
That's all I have to ask.
I'm counting on you then.
I don't want to make things difficult for official Dahao. Let's do this his way and prove my innocence. If I can find that cursed sword, I can prove my innocence right away.
That'd be too convenient.
Well, don't blame me if I find it first and melt it down. There's something else bothering me. Why would the thief take the sword, but leave the case behind? Did they melt down the sword like I wanted to?
Doubt it. We want to cause too much trouble.
Yeah, maybe. But if the case was too much trouble, wouldn't it be too conspicuous to carry around the sword like that, in plain sight?
Yes, I received your message yesterday and went to the arsenal to check on it. But when I went back this morning, all that was left was the case. I don't know anything else, so asking more questions won't help, I'm afraid. However, as the Master Artisan of the Artisanship Commission, I've got to clarify something. Even though the sword was stolen, this commission is still highly secure. Wait, no. I just remembered. My precious aromatons was smashed.
Yeah, sorry about that. talk to you?
If you've found any clues, feel free to tell everyone.
Talk to the others again. Okay. Oh, with Jinkway? You have some problem with you like a hand with? Wait, is this part of this or not? Not too much problem for me is with this guy. Since Master Chili is here, you can talk to him about himself. Weirder now voice, but I can understand that. Can I graduate, qualify any teams? Please don't call me Master. I'm just saying that for convenience sake. Don't worry about it. I remember you, the great hero that Master Gongshu mentioned. You helped him fight off all the monsters in the commission. I really envy you. I can't do anything. I'm just a piece of trash wasting that. Oh, damn. Bro, don't talk to yourself like that. Every time I come across something dangerous, I flee in fear. Such a chicken. I got nothing. No sense of artisanship commission. Oh, Master Gongshu told you. Didn't say anything to me, but I know he's thinking it deep down. If it was true artisan, then there'd be no way I could lost my master manuscript. Manuscript isn't master legacy works his lifetime. The only copy is in the whole cosmos. Legacy work, what happened to Master Gongshu? Dude, please get a hold of yours. This might be something else entirely. Find a manuscript would be fine, alright. Find a lost manuscript. I agree only on one condition. You must come with me. Jinkway. Well, so much for my lazy day plans. Anyways, got any leads to the manuscripts? Those manuscript things are identical. That's a Master Ryan passed. These manuscripts were packaged away by the Artisan Ship Commission. The Master dreams to create a starship no one else could even see before. There should be words like starship designers, Kel structure, starship engine on his manuscript. That's enough for us. I'll keep using more of these fancy words. You ain't gonna understand anything. Head out. No, this is something different. Oh yeah, this is something different. That's funny. I was like, why is Jinkway here? Whoops, hold on. Time navigate, re-navigate it. There we go. Weird, I just like saw her over here and I'm like, what the hell's Jinkway doing here? That's funny. Alright, so it's still... Oh, that's right, you. That's funny. I get sidetracked by Jinkway. I'm like, Jinkway?
Suspect is General Huayan's
What are you
granddaughter?
doing here?
Regardless, we've accomplished our mission, and now it's the Xianzhou's problem. By the way, why did that girl call it a cursed sword? It's quite upsetting.
It contained an evil spirit.
Enough, young man. Now let me get something straight. On Kalevala, this sword has always been highly revered. The first master of the Mieka Kivesa slew countless demons and then passed it down to a line of wise monarchs. The monarchs would heed the guidance of the hero spirits within the sword and gain insight into defeating their enemies.
Was the voice of an Heliobus?
What is, Helio? What? Never mind. The point is that the Mieka Kivesa did help the ancestors of Kalevala build a strong foundation. It's definitely not a cursed sword.
That's what you think. You know,
If you've found any clues,
I'm 100% sure you only didn't steal the sword.
But I'm not sure if I can convince Mr. Daw how.
100% sure. Fine. Let me go through my reasoning again, and you can interrupt if anything feels off.
Boy. I was gonna say, am I gonna debate?
Throughout
Absolutely.
the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the Artisanship Commission, and that was Miss Yunli. Miss Yunli caused a ruckus at the Artisanship Commission, trying to take away Guyun. But you stopped her in her tracks. After bidding farewell to you, Yunli pretended to leave, but snuck into the arsenal alone and stole Guyun. We haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
Can I prove this?
Throughout the entire incident,
Okay.
there was only one suspect who broke into the Artisanship Commission. and that was Miss Yunli. Miss Yunli caused a ruckus at the artisan. After bidding
I gotta use my
farewell to
brain here.
Yunli pretended to leave, but snuck into the arsenal alone and stole Gunyun.
Who versus her? No, where's...
Wait, you messaged Master Gongshu?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Well, that's some solid proof right there. However, it only proves the sword wasn't stolen up to that point.
I didn't do it!
After bidding farewell to you, Yunli pretended to leave, but we haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
On second thought,
Oh.
maybe...
Take your time. We haven't found any other. Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the artisan ship.
What's the last time we did this with Dr. Ratio, right?
Miss Yunli caused a ruckus at the Artisan Ship Commission, trying to take away Gunyun. But you stopped her in her tracks.
On second thought,
Take your time. Miss Yunli caused her after bidding farewell to you.
after Yunli and I went our separate ways, I messaged Master Gongshu to inform him about the incident. And much later, Master Gongshu told me the sword was confirmed safe. So up until that point, Yunli couldn't have stolen it. Can I prove this?
After bidding farewell to you, Yunli pretended to leave. We haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
What about the rose petal?
I found this in the crevice at the bottom of the case.
A rose petal? Huh. I must have missed it during the search. But why was there a petal inside the case?
I don't know. But I do know that wherever that Knight of Beauty goes, he always leaves behind a trail of rose petals that's almost impossible to clean up.
He really does like to make a mess. That was short. I thought it was going to go on longer.
Let me sort them out. The sword case was never locked, which is evidence that only someone who delivered the sword could have done that. And the rose petal was probably left behind by that Knight of Beauty. But how did he manage to take the sword from the Artisan Ship Commission? Why did he steal it after returning it here? And why would he leave that petal in the case?
They're Genti, not me.
Gunyun flew out of the case on its own. The Knight of Beauty only unlocked the box to aid its escape.
Don't be ridiculous. How can a sword escape from a case on its own?
I don't know. It's cursed. Maybe that's why.
You've never seen a flying sword before?
I've only heard about the Mieka Kifesa being able to fly in legends. But even if it could fly, why would the Knight of Beauty do this?
Like I said, the sword contains a heliobus. Argenti must have been under the control of the sword. Maybe he was under its control even before you arrived on the Lofu.
Official Dahao, where can we find that knight?
Let me see. The docking location of Argenti's ship, the one and only.
Let's
Wait,
go.
he has a ship?
We've got to find Argenti before that sword
Makes sense how he was
completely
able to
takes
get
over his
around.
mind.
The corner starts the cave and you stumble upon a knight clad in silver armor. Day, month X, 1604. Okay, Virgil.
I've been waiting for you here for quite a while.
Knight of Beauty. You're the one who stole Gunyun, right? Hand it over. You have no idea how dangerous that cursed sword is.
Dangerous? In my humble opinion, real danger is always the hand wielding the weapon.
I still goon you now.
Please allow me to correct your statement. I never attempted to steal this weapon. As a Drilla's knight, I've sworn to live in poverty and possess only what is necessary.
What? What do you mean?
I agreed to assist Master Guyun in its escape from the Xianzhou. As the person who pulled it from the stone monument, captivated by its beauty, I must not let it down. I couldn't stay in the arsenal to convince the craftsman, nor did I want to take the sword like a thief. That's why I left behind a small piece of evidence that pointed to my identity, in the hope of an open and honest conversation with you.
Okay.
Whatever your reasons are, you were planning to take the cursed sword away from the Xianzhou. Hand it over to me.
Back then, it was the beauty of Master Guyun that impressed me. So I willingly embarked on the journey to return the sword. But unfortunately, Master Guyun's homeland is no longer the ideal place for it to return to. As a Knight of Beauty, I must not abandon it halfway.
Oh no. He's completely captivated by the power of that cursed sword.
Might be snap him out of
The
it.
solution is right in your hand.
Captivated? No, I am touched by Master Guyun's flawless beauty. To be honest, I'm confused why none of you can understand this sword. This is quite heartrending. I've already made up my mind to take Master Guyun away from the Xianzhou.
That cursed sword has messed with your ability to think. But I'll break you free from its grip. I'll shatter its illusion. And the sword itself.
Fair lady, if you're intent on taking away this person, this sword that is under my protection, please engage me with a fair duel according to knightly etiquette. As a representative of this duel, I, Argenti, challenge you.
A representative?
I swear on the spirit of chivalry, in front of Adrilla the Beauty, that I will represent Master Guyun in this duel. If I win, you will allow Master Guyun to leave the Xianzhou with me. And if you best me, Miss Yunli, I'll accept my defeat and turn Master Guyun over to you. Do you accept my challenge, Miss Yunli?
Fine. Let's see whose desire is stronger. Your desire to take it away, or my desire to hunt down all cursed swords. Show me what you've got. You're not going to use
It's not a unique battle.
victory?
2 waves though.
I know a thing or two about swordplay. In a proper duel like this, a knight should rely on the skills he's honed day and night.
You're a real weirdo.
He's a very strange man.
Thank you for your help.
Let's improvise. The mood is set. Let the show begin.
I thought this was gonna be a unique fight between the two of them. That would've been kinda interesting. Using her counter.
You're fighting a gentleman. Put forth all your might.
Right on
Your
time.
flesh wound.
Good thing we built her up already.
Rise to the
I'll
challenge.
end your misery. Thank you for your help.
Fiend or devil, I'll crush them all!
Stay in step.
And we're not even playing with weaknesses here, except for physical.
Rise to the challenge.
Yes, you! I'll free you. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Rise to the challenge.
Thank you for your help. Strike!
Well, we are playing with break effect though, so that's good.
Bear with.
Through clouds! What a headache.
Yeah, Yunli's fun to play.
Melt!
It's unique we're fighting him not in Simian Universe. I guess that's the unique part of this.
Strike!
Thank you for your help.
Let's improvise.
Within the self, not the sword.
Hmm.
Who's next?
Let's catch up.
Right on time.
Still the same one.
Yes, you! Hold everyone back again! Thank you for your help.
Your devil! I'll crush them all!
I'll free you from your disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Good damage.
Melt! I'll enter misery. See through clouds!
Catch up.
Right on time.
That might have been too soon. Yeah, oh well.
The mood is set. Let the show begin.
Be the moment.
Rise to the challenge!
Bring mountains!
You're fighting a gentleman. Put forth all your might.
Yes, you!
Dreams do come true.
We'll be fine.
Disappear among
Yeah,
the
we're
sea
fine.
of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Behold, this symbol of pure. Let the duel commence.
Damage boost, that's not good.
Hold everyone back again.
Catch up.
Right on time.
Forth all your might.
Yes, you! Don't mess with me.
Rise to the challenge!
Melt!
Take your positions.
Down to earth!
Rise to the challenge!
Right on time.
That's not good.
Devil! I'll crush them all!
You're fighting a gentleman. Put forth all your might.
What is much my healing? That's alright. Let's change our lineup on that actually. I got a better team in mind for this.
Fight for victory.
Well, I know a thing or two about swordplay. A proper
I could use Yunli, but it's like, eh. I wasn't paying attention to healing for 1 second. End up killing our ass with How How. Got a little too greedy with damage.
Let the duel commence.
Anyways, take two. This team probably would be better for this.
Lies an endless abyss.
Good times. Time to say bye. Boom. Stand still.
Rise to the challenge!
I want to protect everyone. Help me, Mr. Sora.
It happens though. Like when you have How How on your team, I'm so used to having Lotra on the team and just having the auto heal.
And yang.
I think I got a better solution for this. DOT his ass.
Together as one. Human creations. I'm not afraid of you.
You're fighting a gentleman.
Good times. Time to say
Better than
bye.
having Yunli carry the whole team.
Boom.
Bear witness. Let the duel commence.
Rise to the challenge! Rise to the challenge!
Let's shine forth. Put forth all your might.
No matter. Yin and yang. I see through you.
Stand still.
Look good on the Matrix.
Eliminating.
Didn't hurt. Didn't hurt.
I want to protect everyone. Help me, Mr. Sora.
Get his ass, Mr. Sparrock.
Time to say bye. Boom.
Rise to the challenge.
When in doubt, DOT might be the answer.
Beneath the water lies an endless abyss.
Put forth all your might.
Oh yeah, we're still good. I thought I screwed myself there for a minute.
The flesh wound. Behold, this symbol of pure fighting a gentleman.
Rise to the challenge.
I'm gonna survive this, so that's the thing. I mean, Wushun might die here. We're good. Never mind.
Time to say bye.
What am I saying? I thought I was gonna be failing this again.
For chivalry.
I've lost.
Well, you technically won earlier.
According to the rules of a knight's duel, I should keep my promise and hand over the sword to you. But before I do that, I hope that you, as the winner, might have the mercy and listen to Master Guyon's past experiences.
This sword has been cursed since the day it was forged. Place it in front of me, and let me destroy it.
Do what she says, knight.
But
You've done so much for me already.
We're back to like when
It's time for me to
Heliobus
face
were
her.
running around the Lafu back at like version 1.5.
I'm weary of fighting. I just want to share my past with you. To explain why I wanted to escape. After that, I'll leave my destiny in your hands. Are you afraid to witness my past, little girl?
Afraid? Well, you do have a different aura from other cursed swords. But you're just trying to use my curiosity to lure me in.
Well, you know best that a single touch won't snatch away anyone's sanity.
Be careful.
Fine. Show me your past.
Oh, you have anything to say? Knight understands the rule, the knight duly he ceased arguing, instead eagerly awaits for you and Yunli to listen to Guyon's past. Alright. Let me go back to... Yeah.
It's already impossible to contact the main Cloud Knight forces. What awaits me will be a long and lonely war.
Follow me.
Bellabug?
Is this your memory?
Did you get to Bellabug? Or unless they're just using this aesthetically.
It's so cold here. I didn't feel it when I was in the thick of battle, but now it's freezing me to the bone. You're indeed a masterpiece from the Xianzhou Juming. If you hadn't taken control of my body, I probably would have been decapitated in that fight.
Quiet and stay alert. Boris and Wolf Troopers never give up the hunt.
Hey, just relax a bit. It's been over 300 days since we were both stranded on this planet. The transmitter never rings, so I guess we can't count on that anymore. The people on this planet still use beasts to pull their carts. Obviously, there's no way they can help us fix the star skiff. Looks like we're stranded on this forsaken planet for the rest of our lives.
rest of the Xianzhou native's life could be terribly long. Are you feeling any desperation? All by yourself in this hostile world?
Yeah, a bit. Perhaps.
When things get too rough for you to handle, just leave everything to me. No need to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Yeah, sure. If I really can't handle things anymore, I'll leave my body to you. But now is not that time.
Do you really think you can oppose an entire Borisin army with your limited skills? What are you holding out for?
It's true that I'm stranded here, but it seems like that Borisin pack is in the same boat. By the way, Guyan, do you know what a seed is? A seed may seem insignificant, but with careful cultivation and time, it can grow into a huge, unwavering tree. You said that the rest of a Xianzhou native's life could be terribly long. You're right. That's why I intend to plant a seed named Resistance here, and nurture it for the rest of my life. I want to show the people of this land how to defend themselves against those monsters. I can already see the seed in the eyes of those people.
You really think you can do it? Why not just give me control, and we can revel in the bloodbath together?
What was the memory I just saw?
It was a memory of me and a Cloud Knight, stranded on an unfamiliar planet. We crash-landed on a planet occupied by Borisin. Just the two of us.
I can feel that it was a lonely war.
So they're just using Belobog in the aesthetic then to tell the story. Well, Sir Warrior was Borisin and Belobog.
I'm alive. But all the young people in the village...
They died. They died for you. They died because of your big promises. Promising them a life free from the Borisin. I tasted their despair before death. They didn't see it coming. And neither will you.
We can't stay here. Let's move on to the next village.
Why? What's the point? You and your sorry excuse for an army have been fighting for over 3 decades, and you haven't won a single battle. What you're sowing is not resistance, but despair. This world is hopeless. It's completely infested with packs of Borisin. You've seen the numbers, and you know the methods. And those commoners you've put your hopes in. They just kneel down and worship the monsters devouring their children and families, calling them their beastmasters. You beheaded one of the beastmasters for their sake, but they turned on you because they were scared of the Borisin taking revenge. You remember all that, right?
I do. I remember my first death. The Borisin cut off my head. But I also remember that if it weren't for a brave youngster who risked his neck to reattach my head and give me a proper burial, I would have disappeared completely. I remember everything the people did for me. They left food at the entrance of my cave, fixed my fur coat, and some even joined my resistance. The rest of the Xianzhou native's life is still terribly long. There will be new youngsters who will stand beside me in battle. Time is on our side.
You said it was a lonely war. No. It wasn't a war filled with loneliness, but with despair. So much despair that I don't want to ever taste it again.
Pretty wild.
I'm leaving.
Where are you going, Your Highness?
I'm returning to my homeland. A distant place beyond the sky. I'm not coming back.
But what should we do with you gone? What if those wolf demons show up again?
They won't, my child. You've wiped out the last of them. But before I go, I need you to do one thing for me. Even though the wolf demons are gone, new monsters will appear in this world. Soon, a demon will appear, donning golden branches and knowing only bloodshed. However, fear not, my children. I'm entrusting you with this sword that's been with me in countless battles. Use the skills I've taught you over the years, and you'll surely defeat that last demon. But that's not all. I need you to construct a stone monument for me. It must be large and sturdy enough to seal the remains of that demon forever. This is a debt you owe me, and you must fulfill it. Do you understand?
You lied to them. And you lied to me, too.
Oh?
You promised that you'd give your body to me when you couldn't handle things anymore.
Well, this Xianzhou native's life has finally come to an end, my old friend. How about one last chance for revenge? Come and bid me farewell for the final time.
He had long since come to some understanding. I could sense a mix of intricate emotions flowing out. It wasn't bloodlust, or anger, or fear. What he had left for you was hope.
They've learned how to fight monsters. But there's still one last monster lingering in the world. Kill it, my old friend. He left me there without ever looking back.
Dude was just like protecting people. I see.
Thank you, my old friend. Heliobi can taste human emotions. How do my emotions taste, my old friend?
A hint of bitter compassion and a touch of scalding courage. Your heart's deepest desire is to end war once and for all. Now, the war is finally over. Can you hear? Even though you can't hear me anymore, my old friend, I'll do everything I can to bring an end to all conflicts in this world.
So, this is the past of the Kalevalan people's Sword of Heroes? You helped the people of that world bring an end to war?
No, I did not. I am a weapon, and I only became the cause of more conflicts. Countless monarchs of Kalevala saw me as a symbol of kingship endowed by nature, and they waged wars in order to possess me. I grew tired of their wicked intentions. I didn't want to kill for anyone anymore. So I returned to the stone monument where my master was buried. And since then,
That makes sense.
was able to remove me from it.
But you allowed Argenti to take you away?
Because even after all this time, I still wanted my master to come home. During the sword gifting ceremony, I felt anguish when I learned that I would be handed over to the most skilled swordmaster and once again become a tool for killing. My master had engraved his deepest desire into my blade. End war. As a weapon, my purpose was predetermined from the start. I had to become a deadly sword that would relentlessly hack and kill. But once I fulfilled my mission, would I have the right to choose my own destiny like he did? So, I asked the Knight of Beauty to help me break free from this never-ending cycle of bloodshed.
These thousands of years have naturally turned into memories of mine. I think I understand the beauty the knight was talking about now.
I don't want to be a sword that brings death. My war ended long ago. The years spent as a tombstone were my finest.
I've told you everything about my experience with Master Guyan on Kalevala. And now, I'm sure that Miss Yunli is as moved by the sword's flawless beauty as I was back then.
Even though I had heard the legends of this sword from the delegation, delving into its memories was still fascinating. Yunli, I trust Guyan's experiences have changed your mind.
I had no idea the sword had such a past.
It wasn't until I held Guyan in my hands that I could sense its thoughts and unspoken words. I always thought a cursed sword infused with a heliobus would only bring rage and slaughter. I never thought someone could leave behind the desire to end war, and even change the nature of the cursed sword. My position was too extreme. Guyan is truly a sword of heroes. I apologize to all of you for my behavior. I'm sorry.
Now that we've proven Miss Yunli's innocence and found the sword, should we now return it to the arsenal?
No. I'm still going to melt down this sword. I've heard your true desires, Guyan. I can sense that you're tired of being a sword. Constantly serving new masters and fighting battles you no longer want to be part of. Right?
But being a sword is my destiny. I'm doomed to serve some master and fight battles endlessly. Can the wind choose to stop blowing? Can a cloud choose to stop drifting? No. It's the same for me. a creation with a predetermined destiny.
That's not true, Guyan. That nameless swordmaster shaped his own destiny. So you can too.
I just can't picture my destiny being anything other than that of a sword.
Do you remember when you stood alone in front of the swordmaster's stone monument? People admired you because you carried the memories of the hero. You were no longer a sword. You were a memorial.
Later, as I became worn and weathered, the gentle wind would pass through the hollows of my body, creating melodic tones that echoed in the distant mountains. I became a musical instrument then. I miss those times.
Can a creation become what it wants to be? The answer is yes. I'll grant your wish, Guyan, and transform you into something different.
Something different?
But this is the price for the war dance. If the Kalevalan delegation finds out... Please, say something, General Huayan.
Well, my granddaughter has always been stubborn. Are you really sure about this, Yunli?
What do you all think?
If that's what you want, I'm on board with this.
Fulfilling Master Guyan's wishes is the reason I came to the Xianzhou. With the Drill's blessing, you could turn Master Guyan into a plow. But as long as it fulfills his wish to end war, I support it fully.
Then, I'll leave it to you, Yunli.
Make your way to the Arson Ship Commission. Pendad Armor Seeking.
It's been an honor getting to know you like this.
The honor is mine. Thank you, Yunli.
Why the long face, my child? Are you feeling regret, perhaps? You were completely determined when melting down the sword, so why the sudden change of heart?
Grandpa, I melted down the prize for the war dance. How are you going to explain this to the Lawfu?
Oh? Am I hearing right? This little girl is worried about her grandpa. Didn't see that coming.
If only I'd talked to you from the beginning, Grandpa. Maybe things wouldn't have escalated like this. But at least Guyan got what it wanted. I have no regrets there.
When it comes to swords, you and your father are cut from the same cloth. So, are you planning to continue melting down the rest of Hongguang's swords?
Yeah. Guyan is unique. But the other cursed swords are still too dangerous for anyone to handle. But maybe I'll try to be more patient next time.
Be more patient. Well said. Remember what you learned today, because there will be many more situations in the future that will require you to be more patient.
Understood. But what about the prize?
Well, ever since you showed up at the ceremony, I had a hunch. So I prepared another sword as a backup plan. And don't worry, this one has nothing to do with Helioba.
That's perfect.
By the way,
Man grabs one step ahead of everyone over here.
Knight went to Aurum Alley. They're looking for a spot to honor the hero. Why don't we go take a look together?
Sure. Arm Alley? Love this place. This is like one place I would actually want to live. Is Arm Alley, just aesthetic wise.
Oh, General Huayan. What brings you here?
Well, my granddaughter was inspired by the heroic legends told by the Mieka Kivesa, so she dragged me here to take a look.
With the golden
I
sapling.
come from a long line of Kalevala monument keepers. For generations, my family has guarded the stone monument left behind by the nameless hero. Over the centuries, a golden tree sprouted from under the monument, and its branches have never withered. We Kalevalans see it as proof of the hero's existence. Before leaving Kalevala, I took a branch from that golden tree, hoping to plant it here to represent the hero returning to his homeland.
That sounds good. We Xianzhou people don't make coffins or set up memorials, so I'm sure he would be happy to rest here where life is bustling.
The hero had asked our ancestors to carve something into the monument, so I made a copy of it too. While the inscription is pretty worn with age, perhaps you can still make out some of it.
I have drifted far from my homeland and am on the brink of death. Yet, I take solace in having honorably fulfilled my duties. Should you feel compassion for me, kind traveler, please take a handful of soil hence and bring it back to the lawful. Mr. Pavo, I wonder if that hero ever left a name in your history.
I apologize, but the hero's epic battles happened long ago, and he did not leave any name for us to call him. But in our mythology, he came from the heavens, and so we call him the Cloud Knight.
Welcome home, Cloud Knight.
Pretty accurate.
You can also rest here, Huyan.
Nice musical instrument. Heard a stone soul in the sky.
I'm feeling a bit emotional. I'd like to stay here for a while. Thank you for your guidance. I'm truly grateful. By any chance, would you be interested in taking sword lessons with me? Like March?
Maybe not. I have my baseball bat. Oh, come on. I would.
As a punishment for being an...
When am I gonna get a sword in this game, right?
General Huayan assigned me to guard this golden sapling and recite the story of the hero and this legendary sword to passers-by. This is not a punishment at all, and I gladly accepted it. Spreading the message of beauty to the Xianzhou residents is exactly what I desire.
You do you, Argenti.
However, I plan to leave the Xianzhou soon and continue my travels. May our paths cross again in the vast cosmos.
Sure, you'll be in the next update, believe me. I've already seen trailers, so yeah, you're there. Pavo anymore?
The mission is accomplished. The delegation will be leaving the Xianzhou Lafu soon. But of course, the experiences here will become an epilogue to the hero's stories. This golden sapling will become a part of the everyday scenery of the Xianzhou. I believe it's what he would have wanted.
Yeah. It's a nice little memorial. But anyways, that's gonna be it for me on this companion mission. Pretty good, actually. I like this one. It was like a little longer than the other companion missions. I actually felt like this one was a little more well thought out, I guess. But still, I really like it. Not a bad companion mission whatsoever. Next time, from here on out, we'll be training with March and doing all that stuff. If you'd like to support me on social media and stuff, everything's in the description below, as well as my friends' links, if you'd like to check them out, too. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Really appreciate it. Until then, we'll see you guys next time.